Welcome, Bearcats and parents. Welcome back to Jackson Square. Today we're going to be talking about integers. What are integers? And we're going to be looking specifically at adding integers with a number line and with a model. So before we start, what is an integer? An integer is any whole number: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,000, a million, a trillion, a zillion, 392, or its opposites: -1, -2, -3, -392. Integers can be shown on number lines. We have a horizontal number line, and we also have a vertical number line shown here. 0 is neither positive nor negative. To the left of 0 is always our negatives, and to the right is always our positives. As we go down the number line and we go from left to right, our numbers are getting gradually larger. And as we go from right to left, our numbers are getting smaller. Remember, negatives are always smaller than positives, and positives are always greater than negatives, and 0 is always larger than any negative. When you think about negatives, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing thinking about as you go farther down the number line that it's getting smaller. But think about, would you rather owe somebody $4 or owe them $14? You would rather owe them $4, which is a smaller amount and is also closer to 0, so it has a greater value. Would you rather owe somebody $9 or would you rather owe them $0? I would rather not owe anybody anything, so 0 is definitely greater than a -9. When we look at the number line, we also talk about something called opposites. The opposite of a number is the number that is the same distance from 0 but on opposite sides of 0. So if I was at 0 and I would take 3 jumps to the right, I would land on +3. And if I was at 0 and I took 3 jumps to the left, I would land on -3. Because they're the same distance from 0 but on different sides, they are called opposites. So the opposite of -3 is +3. And just looking at our vertical number line, same concepts apply, except here, our 0, positives are above 0, negatives are below 0. As we go up, they're getting larger, and as we go down, they're getting smaller. When we talk about integers, we also have some key words that we see in everyday real life that have positive and negative meanings. These are going to be vital to your success in this unit, just knowing and recognizing words when they mean a positive or a negative, who's the giver, who's the receiver, who's being paid, who paid them. Those different things or have different meanings. So let's jump right into our homework and look at a few of those problems, and then we'll come back and reference this sheet too. So for our homework tonight, we are adding integers with a number line at the top. And if you look at the sheet, we already have the number lines given to us. All we have to do is figure out what the problem is. I am certain that you were taught that you always start at 0. So we're going to jump right in and look at number 2. So on number 2, if I started at 0, I see the first place they went was to a +2. So I'm going to write +2. So from the +2, these are addition problems, so I'm going to write an addition sign. So from the +2, how many moves or jumps did they go? Well, I see they went in the negative direction, so the next number I'm going to add is a negative number. And from 2, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jumps because it ends on -4. So 2 plus a -6 would give me an answer of -4. Remember, when we have different signs, we subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So number 2 is +2 plus a -6 to give us a -4. And let's look at number 3. Again, we always start at 0. So both of my numbers, I can already tell, are going to be negative because they're both going in the left direction. So from 0, I land on negative 3. So my first number is negative 3. It's an addition problem, so I put addition sign. And my second number picks up from negative 3 and goes all the way to negative 10. So how many jumps is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So negative 3 plus a negative 7, again, same sign, we add, would give me a negative 10 and keep the sign. So let's look at one or two, maybe one, of the word problems below. Let's look at number 1, because it has some of those key words in there. Sarah was on a cliff 25 feet above sea level, so we know that is a positive 25. She jumped into the sea and descended. To descend means to go down. To ascend means to go up. So descend means she went down. That's a negative. A total of 37 feet. So that's going to be a negative 37. How many feet below sea level did she travel? Justify your reasoning. So I have a positive 25. You can write the plus sign or not. Plus a negative 37. Descend means to go down. Because I have a negative and a positive, I know that I need to subtract to find my answer. So here we can do some side work. It would be 12, but not only 12, it would be a negative 12 because my largest number is 37 and it is negative. I take the sign of the larger number. So how many feet below sea level did she travel? You can write a statement and say Sarah traveled 12 feet below sea level. 12 feet below. So I'm not going to do the next problems, but I will give you some hints on some of the words. So in problem number 2, there's a decrease. Remember, decrease is negative. Negative. And number 3, he deposited $45. To deposit means to put in the bank. So that is a positive value. Use your notes and you should be successful. Remember, good luck, Bearcats.